guys, welcome back. So in my previous videos I mentioned about going to conventions, and I don't think I clarify what kind of convention I go to, but I am a huge comic, gaming, anime fan. And since the San Diego Comic-Con is coming up, I wanted to show you my tried and true base makeup that keeps my makeup looking extremely nice throughout the day and can last for over 8 hours. So without further ado, let's get started. So the most important step of your makeup routine to make sure that your makeup stays intact and smooth is your primer. I use 3 primers together. You don't have to go 3, but I would recommend it if you want different things for your skin type. So when I want my makeup to last forever, I use 3 primers together. And you can buy whichever primer that works for your skin type. For me, these are the ones that work. The first primer that I always choose is a brightening sunscreen primer. This one is the MaoGePing Fresh Makeup UV Primer. What I love about this one is that because it is a white consistency, it actually brightens my skin a little bit, and it also has 50 SPF. So it's really great for when you walk out into the sun, when you're walking into the convention. This protects your face so that you don't get tan. And also, if you want a little brightening effect, this is great for it. You don't need to have a brightening effect. You can also use just some kind of sunscreen primer, or even just sunscreen with your mix. But I personally like to brighten my complexion just a little. So this is a perfect primer for me. And then the second primer they use is the YSL Blurring Primer. Now this one, it has gold flakes in it. It's not necessary to get a primer with gold flakes. The reason why I love this one is because it blurs my pores and it also adds radiance to my prep. So this is a great one, but you don't have to use the YSL. If you have any other primer that you like that adds radiance, or if you don't want radiance at all, then you don't really need this one. But I just prefer it because it gives me more to add to my base. And then the last one that I usually combine with the other 2 is the Milk Grip Primer. This one, as the name suggests, grips your makeup, and so it's really great to keep your makeup intact. Usually I do about 3 pumps of the SPF primer and then 2 pumps of the YSL Radiant Primer and then 3 pumps of the grip primer. You technically don't need to combine all these. I would say if you don't want to use a radiant primer, you can always just use an SPF primer that helps with covering up pores as well, and also the gripping primer. This also have pore blurring effect, but I feel like it's not as strong as this one, so that's why I like to combine all 3 together. But it also depends on your skin and to see what primer works best for your skin. But I definitely highly recommend at least using a gripping primer and an SPF primer for your base. Usually what I like to do is mix all 3 of the primers together and then apply it all over my face, and especially under the neck right here and around the nose, because that's where most of the oil is produced. So you want to make sure that the grip is there specifically, so then your makeup doesn't fall apart. And then after I finish applying the face primer, I would go to the eye primer. Now I would usually give myself about 5 to 10 minutes between applying any other product after I apply my face primer, just so that it can set and then everything is good on my face. So for your eye primer, you can use a dedicated eye primer like the MAC ones or the Urban Decay ones, or you can use a concealer. Personally, I like the Bobbi Brown Color Corrector. This one is in the pot, so it looks like this inside, and it is really nice because you use a brush and precisely color correct and apply your base to the exact areas that you're doing your eye makeup on. And then if you want your eyeshadows to stick even more, what I like to do is after I let this sit for 5 minutes, I will apply another base eyeshadow. So it would be a very neutral shade, like my natural skin color, or it might be light brown, whatever. Then like it gives another layer of thing to stick on, especially for glitter because it has more fallout. So after you finish applying your eyeshadow, if you are applying a eyeliner, the one that I highly recommend is the Kat Von D waterproof liquid eyeliner in Trooper Black. This is my perfect wing eyeliner. So the felt tip is very thin, so you can easily draw a perfect wing, and it is waterproof. You could cry, you can sweat, you can jump into a pool, and this thing won't budge. So this is amazing. I love this. I've been using this for many years and for every single day. And another one that I really recommend if you're doing underline especially and you want them to stay forever is the Danessa Myricks multi-chrome eyeliner. They do not come off. They last for 8 hours. The color pigment is beautiful, and it's just so unique and great for cosplay makeup that I always go back to it, and I purchased so much of it already. I have probably every single shade. So personally, I do my makeup from face base and then eye makeup and then the full face, because that way if I do have any fallout, then I can just cover it up with powder or my foundation. So that's why I usually do my eye before my full face makeup. So after I finish my eye makeup, what I like to do is go to my concealer color corrector. So I personally love the Bobbi Brown Skin Corrector Sticks. So I use the lighter one to brighten my under eye, and the regular one I would usually use it around my nose, so then like it's not too brightening. Unless I do want to brighten it, then I would use the lighter shade for the under eye and the nose. But if I just want, you know, a little bit more coverage, then I use this to cover my nose, the inner corner of your nose. So after I finish applying my color corrector / concealer, what I like is then I would use a very hydrating foundation. So I find myself to gravitate toward more hydrating foundation just because I have dry skin. So matte foundation don't really work well for. So the two hydrating foundation that I love is the Dior Skin Glow foundation and the Chanel Healthy Glow foundation. These two are very hydrating. So it's really good if you have really dry skin like me. And when I apply my foundation, I have been using this foundation puff. Now this one is from Sephora. I love this so much. This is so great because it, like, you can see that it's more like triangular around this right here, so then it gets into the nose area really well. It covers the face really easily and really fast. This is so easy to use and so quick to make the makeup look really nice. So I love this. And then after I finish putting my foundation, what I like to do is use a setting spray, and I've used a hydrating setting spray like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. After I let the setting spray set, I use a translucent powder, and I use like a small puff like this. This is a Morphe puff. Because it's so small, it's really great to apply powder around the nose. And the only areas that I set with a setting powder is the bridge of my nose, well, basically the full nose, and then just the side of these areas. The reason why I do that is because I wear glasses. In order to help with the makeup under my glasses, I will always just set a little bit more powder around the areas where my glasses touch. So of course your glasses is gonna take a bit off, especially between the bridge right here where, you know, the glasses sit. But if you do this, it usually helps with at least reducing it, so that if you do take off your glasses, it's not too obvious, and you can easily fix that with a little bit more powder or a little bit more concealer, and you're good to go. This is my try and true method. Now, after I finish powdering, I let it sit for a little bit, and then I do another layer of setting spray. Then this gives it back more hydration, so then you look more hydrated and glowy at the end. So after I finish applying the setting spray, then I go about with my bronzer, contour, highlight, blush. And usually what I like to do for those, you can choose whichever one you like, but what I like to do is just use a cream or liquid version of blush, highlight, bronzer, contour, and then I use a powder version of it around to hold the powder, so then the powder can last longer. So then your blush, bronzer, contour, highlight can last the whole entire night. After you finish applying your blush, bronzer, highlight, contour, then you can just set your makeup. Now, I personally love to set my makeup with two different things. First, I set my full-on makeup with a setting spray, the hydrating setting spray, because that gives everything a nice setting, like a nice coverage of hydration. And because I have powder on my face, that also could potentially create patches, especially if you have really dry skin. So I use a hydrating setting spray, spray it all over, let it set, let it dry, and then I use a very mattifying, long-lasting, waterproof matte setting spray. So I use either the One Size mattifying setting spray, or I use the Fenty mattifying setting spray. These two setting sprays, they feel like hairsprays, but it does keep your makeup lasting forever. Like, these two are a holy grail, but I really don't like how matte it is, and also it feels kind of more drying. So after this set, then I do another and the final layer of the hydrating setting spray. And this is my tried and true of how to keep my makeup lasting for hours upon hours. Now, one more thing, you need a lip liner. The best two lip liner that I've tried so far is the Fenty lip liner and these NYX lip lingerie. And no matter what kind of lip product you use, if you use these lip liners or anything that's similar to these, your lip combo will stay on the whole entire day, and you don't even need to reapply it. So after you finish your face makeup, your lip combo, everything, your next step would be your hair. So the two that I love using for Comic-Con or any day for my hair to stay perfect, in order to keep these curls strong and perfect, what I use is these Kendra sprays. So the first one that I love using is the Volume Mousse Extra. This one is amazing. It helps with the hold. So after you finish doing your curls, what I would recommend is the Kendra Volume Spray. This thing holds your curls perfectly. Like, if I use these two combo together, I could do my hair on Saturday and my curls will last until Thursday if I don't wash my hair, because wigs are really hard to manage for me, especially since I have long, thick hair. So that's why just doing a curl, keeping it simple, works best for me. So then these two are my holy grail for my curls. Lastly, after you finish doing your makeup and your hair, the last thing that you want to make sure is that you smell amazing. Like, especially in conventions where it's sweaty, everyone's bumping into you. The last thing you want is someone to be like, ugh, and smell your BO. So of course, deodorant, you apply whatever deodorant you want, but the one thing that I highly recommend is to spray 3 different sprays. And the 3 different sprays are hairspray, body spray, and your regular perfume. You want a strong lasting perfume, like those that last for 5 to 7 hours, because that will last forever. And you want to also spray your hair, so then your hair, like if someone is taller than you comes near you and then they smell your hair, they're like, wow, you smell amazing. Of course, you need to spray your body spray, because body spray, that keeps your overall body, smelling nice. And it works, and you want to work in conjunction with your overall spray, because your body spray, it only lasts for a couple hours, but it smells really nice when like you move your arm and then someone gets a whiff of your scent. It's amazing. But you also, for your stronger perfume, you want to put it in the pulse points. So like your neck area, your wrist area, and then of course, you also want to spray your clothes. So like what I do is like I spray the top, the bottom, and then even the mid area. So then it smells nice. Like when I move, when my dress flings or whatever, it smells perfect. Like even if they can't smell your scent on your body, they can smell the scent on your clothes, because the scent on your clothes lasts way longer. So you want to make sure that at least you spray something on your clothes, so then the scent lasts extra long. So these are my tried and true products that I always use for my conventions. In the next couple of videos, I plan to talk about getting convention ready, not just for makeup, but the prep that goes into it, because there was a lot of planning that I didn't know of until now. So this is my second year going, but first year planning the whole trip, and it was a lot of work, but it's really well worth it. And I want to give you some ideas how to prepare for your next convention, whether it be San Diego Comic-Con or another convention coming out. Thank you again for watching my video. Until next time, see ya!